Yakobo jina, ukamuita Israeli, maana yake kubarikiwa, nami naomba kubarikiwa nawe.
Hello, this is JNK Samuel of Children Glorious Hope. Now, today I'm hanging out with somebody that you know very well, a worshiper, a man of God. He's a reverend. And without further delay, allow me to welcome my guest to introduce himself. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Jane. It's good to have you today. I thank God. I can't take it for granted.
Amen.
And as I speak to our viewers today, my name is Reverend Isaac Kahora. And as my sister has said, I'm a gospel musician, a worshiper, and also a minister of the word.
Amen.
And also a father.
Wow.
And a husband.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. It is good to have you. It's actually an honor and a privilege to host you today,
Thank you.
Reverend Isaac.
Yes.
And for the sake of our viewers today, will you kindly let us know where you were born, how you were brought up, just a brief history about yourself so that our viewer may get to know about you.
Okay. I was born in Kikuyu, like a small village called Kamugoga, and Kamugoga is in Sigona.
Okay.
And that is where I grew up.
Okay.
And I also went to school around the area. And after that, Kikuyu is in Kiambu.
Yeah.
So, and after that, everybody want to hustle to get into Nairobi to do your things. And I found myself there. But many things, growing up, serving the Lord, and also realizing myself, it is in my village. Yes.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yes.
We have known you. Personally, I started hearing about your songs when I think I was a young girl. How long have you been a worshiper?
Okay. To be precise, 25 years.
Say that again. 20?
Yes. Yeah, 20. This year I'm celebrating my 25th year in the music ministry.
Wow.
Yes, it has been a journey.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. And when did you know that you have this gifting in you of singing?
At my tender age, when I was still young, I think in school. In those days, you know, it's only today, I think, in schools, when we were starting school, nursery school, there were those curriculum, the one that has already now started again.
The CBC
the
now,
CBC.
we are calling it CBC.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I think that is where I realized myself in, because we could do so much singing. So when you are doing so much singing, the teacher will just point you and find you can sing.
Yeah.
There is something you can do. So I think that is where I started. I realized, hey, I can do. And realization was like being appointed. Come and lead us a song. Come and do this. Come and do a sort of us.
Wow.
That way. And okay, it grew.
And the gifting was realized by the teachers in Sunday school.
Yes.
And the people around you.
Yes.
And you started cultivating it.
Yes.
And you started singing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
When did you record your first song?
That was 94.
1994.
Yeah.
At what point did you think about having a family?
Okay. I think the amazing thing, it just came up. I used to work with people. Only when I was in the village, we could work with my age mates.
Okay.
But as much we were moving together.
Now, the age mates you're talking about, are they ladies or
both,
girls?
I think both.
Okay.
But as much I had my age mate that we were good friends and all that. There were those people that who used to mentor us that time, and they were so strict. And especially when I don't know about today, because I know I'm speaking to different kind of the people.
True.
And especially to this generation of today, which happened. I have the children. My children are still in teenage at this age.
Yeah.
It also needed the grace of God for them.
True.
So they were very strict, and especially even our parents, and particularly my mother was very strict.
To be precise, she was strict.
Oh my God. I tell people the first Kesha I went after, I think I was 20, allowed 20, to be out from 6. I think I saw what is happening outside after maybe around that time. So, because of that, and the people that were very strict, they would really want to mentor us. We never saw some of these mentors. We never saw them in courtship.
Yeah.
We don't know how they used to do their courtship, whether they did them at night or how they did it. So I can't say that we could see how they were relating and all this kind of the things. So in quotes, we knew to be seen with a girl, it's a sin.
It was a sin. It was a sin. In fact, even a neighbor, if a neighbor dared see you and your parent has not seen you, that information would reach your mother.
Exactly. It was that way. So you always safeguarded yourself and try to avoid that. So after coming out from the village, because that was the life that I knew, and now I'm in Nairobi, and now the Nairobi that I am in, I am working from 7 or from 6 to 9. So there is no time even for hanging up. Exactly, no social life. So after that, I think I can say I got my more time when now I was joining, coming out from the hotel, or when I started now working out through my music. That is, I started my journey in 1994. That is the time now I started getting my freedom. But again, I realized the people or my friends that I hooked up with them, they were older than me. But also, we could associate very closely. Where we deeply, the age didn't matter so much. So they were the people who are now starting telling me, hey, Kahora, you have to get married.
Hey, so, uncle.
And I could tell them, me, I'm just young. But they started pushing. And that was the time, hey, yes, I think then I had this friend of mine, a good friend of mine. Nowadays he stays in States. A very good friend of mine who also pushed me in a way. And I felt, and I could see how they are hooking up with her girlfriend. Her girlfriend was a very good friend of mine. We connected when we became good friends. So it became also easier.
Okay.
Yes, so later, I think in 2001, I think, yes, 2001, I got married.
Boom.
Yes.
2001.
Yes.
You get a girl.
Yes.
And you married her.
And I married her.
Tell us now.
Yes.
How did you have it until to a point you started having a family, having children? How was life? Because we want to address parents. We want to encourage a parent out there with this testimony.
Okay.
And we want to hear your journey. Okay. And how it has been and how God has come through for you.
Okay. I think my journey has been a journey of faith. That is one.
Amen.
And when also I left the hotel and now I got in the music, in that time it was not really easy. But when you have a gift and also when you believe in yourself, and another thing, when you have people that can be able, not everybody, but few people who can believe in you, and they want to walk a journey with you. I think that is one of the things that helped me to make it. Also in the other side, in the music, And now from 1994 to 2000 was a time of preparation, also growing up my career music, doing my first album, and now promotion, doing the promotion, and many things. There were challenges. Nowadays, talk about promotion, it's a bit easy because medias are all over, including now what people are doing in the social media. There is nothing that was there like what we can see today. So having your music being played, that was another story. But let's not get to that direction. But I can say, all in all, one of the things that helped me to stand and today to feel like I have made it in this journey, it is because I believed in what I had, the gift in me, and I had people that believed in that, and they walked with me. We encouraged one another. Also them, they were trying, but we encouraged one another. We sat down, we created ideas until we realized ourselves, we are growing up, we are growing. So to a point now, when you are coming to have a family, you are quite sure you are not just living only by faith, but you have substance, you have something which the faith has helped you to birth. So you are not just going believing what you eat and drink by faith. Already you have seen your faith has brought change in your life. So it's only by faith. And especially have come to the South, to men of God, it's only by faith. So coming, getting married, I have never been employed since that time. So all through, it's through my music. Exactly, through my music.
Wow, let me take you back a little. When we talk a bit about your music, because you said after the hotel you never got any other employment.
Yes.
And it's all about your music that was making you put your bread on the table. When you were recording your first song, I believe there were challenges which are different maybe from today's challenges. So how have you walked to recording to where you are today? Because today, in fact, there are so many artists today, so many, and I thank God because all of them are doing it for the body of Christ. All of them are doing it just to the glory of God. But now, coming to your case now, you started recording after now the hotel. You started recording your songs, and you have grown to a level which you are today. What are the challenges that you encountered? Because having said that, it is the one that took over to be your career now, to per se, because you had no other job. What are the challenges that you encountered in the music industry?
I think one of the greatest, every season has its own challenges.
True.
And by the time you overcome, you realize, Kube, this was not a challenge. There was a challenge that was waiting for me on the other side. But I think what I can say, the greatest challenge was at that time, the greatest challenge was promotion, where to take your music. That is one. People believed in the media houses. If your music is not heard in any media house, then you are not a singer. By the time you go to somebody, introduce yourself, and you tell them, I'm a gospel musician or I'm an artist, the first thing will ask you, which song is being played in the radio station. So many times you end up lying. Because you want to prove yourself you're a musician to people. So you just give them an answer, this song, which it has never been aired. Exactly. It has never been aired. So that promotion was a big challenge. Then also coming to a point that you can be able to record, it was not easy as today, because today I can say anybody can do a recording, even not a musician. Nowadays there are musicians who are made by computer. In our days there were no musicians, there was nobody who is not a musician, because when you go to the studio, you don't go with nowadays they are digital. We are doing digital programming and all the rest. Those days you go studio with a whole band.
The
You go with
instrumentalists
the
are there.
instrumentalist, and then they will not allow you to sing what you want to sing. They will listen to you, and they will tell you point blank, you are not a singer.
Go and practice more. Or they just disband.
Literally, you are not a singer.
Oh,
if
no.
you are not a singer,
You are not.
you are not.
Because there is nothing they are going to do about your voice.
The technician is there, the instrumentals are there. They are so busy. After they record your music, there are other musicians who are waiting for them. So they are not there to waste time with you. If you are not a musician, you are not. They are not worried about your money. So that was in our days. So today when you hear people trying to sing, that is still a challenge. I think that is the greatest challenge today, the music, where we have reached the music. You hear this person is not a musician, but he's just out of maybe money and the rest, fame, all those things. Yes, so in our days there were musicians.
There were.
Yes,
And,
you couldn't get in the studio if you're not a musician.
I agree, because once I think about some of your songs that I had many years ago, they are still relevant even today.
Exactly.
I think it's about content.
Yes, exactly.
And doing the right thing, led by the Spirit of God. Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
Now you have married.
Yes.
You're in the journey of marriage now. You have your wife, and at some point I know God blessed you.
Yes.
With some fruits.
Yes.
With an inheritance.
Yes, we have two boys, two sons, who are teenagers today.
Wow.
My first son is 17.
17?
Yes, and the other one is 13.
13 and 17.
Yes, so they are teens.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Those are teens.
Yes.
You're a father of teens, and
yes.
You're blessed.
Amen.
You're blessed. Those are the arrows that you have. The Bible says in the book of Psalms.
Exactly.
Yeah, blessed are the children of your youth.
Exactly.
Amen. Tell us about your experience with how you have gone through with your son, because we have had in a different interview you talking about this son who was differently abled. And I believe that every mother, when they conceive, they have a hope and they believe deep within that they will get a physically, mentally, cognitive-wise, developmentally-wise healthy child. But now comes, you get this boy, the firstborn.
Okay. Oh, I think it was now 2000. I said my son is 17, so that tells you he was born which year?
He was born 20.
Fine, wherever. After our marriage, I think we didn't take too much time before God blessed us with our firstborn son. And I think the first thing I would love to say, because now we have gotten to what now you wanted, the rest of that we have shared was just knowing me. I just want to be to get a bit deeper, so that at least we can be able to encourage a mother, a family somewhere, which has connected me with so many families, and I can say worldwide, in different continents. I'll receive calls from different families. And that one also encouraged me. It is one of the things that has encouraged my faith in my life, when I could look at whatever we have gone through. And I hear, so it is not just in Kenya, even in those nations that are, we think these situations are well handled. I realize there are people who are still going through.
Yeah, statistics have it that it's millions and millions of children who are born that.
That is it. So that one itself encouraged me, and it helped me to keep my faith. When I hear somebody call, help me just spiritually, these things, as much my children are well taken care of in school and the rest of the things, but there is that thing inside me that I still find myself suffering because of my child. But I can say, so I know that was the main thing, that why you wanted us to have this conversation or a sharing together, because we want to encourage them, that exact a parent somewhere.
Yes.
And I can say our son was born as normal as other children, and having no complications. The mother had no complication. The only thing that maybe she went through, but I came to realize sometimes when a child has a small issue, there are some things that are not really necessary. When you go to hospital, the doctors will start asking you so that they look for, maybe for a reason why the situation is there.
I know.
So my wife labored, not so much, or she had pain. I have seen women laboring for a long time. So I can't say that my wife labored for a long time, but to them, they say she labored a long time.
So when they say long, she labored for how, like how many hours?
I can say maybe 8 hours.
8 hours?
Yeah, 8 hours. Because I remember I took her, I took her in the morning, around 5 in the morning, but she was giving birth around 2, around there.
2 at night?
No. In the daytime.
But that was not long.
Yeah, that was not really long.
I have labored for more than that, from morning 8 to 10 at night.
Yeah, so that is why I'm saying sometimes the doctor will say he labored, it was prolonged, and I looked at it and I hear women giving stories, and I hear she labored more than that,
yeah,
and her baby are fine and blah blah blah. So there were no complications. That is what I wanted to say.
It's
a safe delivery. The baby cried and all the rest, the things they went through well. Yeah, and we never realized there is any issue. Even the doctors, they never saw anything.
The baby was discharged.
Yeah, the baby was discharged. Everything was okay. We went home. We were very happy and enjoying the growth of our son.
True.
Yes. But in between, around maybe 3 months, that is the time we realized when the mother go to clinic, she realized the mamas wale walikuwa na yeye when they were giving birth, there are things that their children could do. Their bones are going strong when
the milestones.
Yes. So, but the baby was just still a baby where you have to handle with a lot of care, the neck, those size. So they are not really firm to hold the body very well. So it delayed, and that was the time we started raising the arm. I remember in that duration of time now, also my mother, by her visit, realized that. But also, she couldn't really talk so much. That is one of the sensitive time with you when you have given birth.
True. They are very lethargic at that time.
And she didn't want, maybe aonekane naigiria mambo zingine. So when we realized, my wife realized when now they were going to the clinic, And now the doctors, that is the time, because of her raising the alarm, they were able now to start checking out. And her calcium was really down.
Yes, I see.
So her bones was really needed to be improved.
To be boosted.
Exactly. And also so that the mother can also to have the things that can make the milk of the baby when he's feeding, at least he can get that calcium.
The boy is how old at this time?
18.
No, not today.
Yes.
When you
at that particular time, I think he was allowed 5 months there.
It was around
going
5 months.
there.
That is when the doctors and the mother realized something is not adding up here.
Exactly.
And they realized that the calciums, after tests were done, of course.
Yes.
The calcium levels were down.
Yes, they were down. Yes.
That is vitamin D.
Yes, exactly. So as much we observed at that particular time, the baby is not taking anything else.
Yeah.
He's only breastfeeding from the mother. So we walked the journey. Now we raised the alarm and we started observing. And we started seeing some improvement.
Okay. After medication.
Exactly. After now, checking on the whatever the mother is taking. When we are going to all that, the mother had to use even some supplement for her, so that at least when the baby is breastfeeding, will be able to be strong, whatever the baby gets. So in a span of like almost the baby coming to 1 year, that was now still the time would look at that age. Wengine wanaanzaga kusimama, wengine wanaanza kujishikilia, so our baby couldn't, hawezi kujiketisha, all those. That was the greatest challenge. So something started developing our minds. Kwani what is happening? Kwani this thing is too big?
Now, Reverend, so we're talking about the baby is now 1 year.
Yes.
And you realize that the baby cannot sit, the baby cannot stand, or he has delayed in the milestones that we expect a baby to have reached. By the time this baby is 6 months, he's supposed to have started maybe sitting down on his own. The neck is supposed to be firm. At least you will see the development and you will see the milestones. So at 6 months, how was the baby?
I think you could, wherever you leave the baby, that is where you still find him. So there is not that change. There is no change. There is a way when the baby is growing up, you have to keep improving. How if you leave him, today, you may find him there or the other side. So you know how to push the things so that you can give the baby a good environment where he can grow himself. But that is what I'm saying. There was not that that you can say that there was so much movement or so much change. He was just still there. He still needed support. When you sit him, you have to sit him and support him. And maybe you will not sit him because now when the neck cannot, you have to make that baby lie almost all through, unless when you are holding him. So and because we have never been parents. These things you will realize them when now you have gone out there, either in the clinic or you find the baby of the same age. You realize haya, huyu anafanya hii, huyu anafanya hii, na wenu wafanyi. So what is happening?
Being a first-time parent is always very confusing.
It's challenging. Exactly.
Very challenging because you even get advice. Very different people giving you advice. Do this, don't do this. It's because of this. So, but you have been given medication at this point, and the boy is taking medication. And you have realized that there's some progress.
Yes, but remember the medication that we are only getting from the breastfeeding of the mother.
Oh, the baby is not having medication.
Yes. So.
Oh, I see now.
Because they couldn't see anything. Themselves, they couldn't see anything. It's only now the calcium side. And that one they said very well. This one can go on this way.
Can be treated through the mother.
Can be treated through the mother. Can be treated when mtoto akitolewa nje, all those kind of the things. So there was not that medication. And also we I think also we couldn't like it at those days. Well, now unaambiwa mtoto aanze ku done those medications and the medicines and all that. There was that belief you are making your child will suffer when he grow up. So would rather not use all these things and find another way.
The myths that we
Yes,
find
exactly.
as we parent and as when
That
you're a
is
young
it.
parent.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we thought, and we were so much in mother, so that she can be able to have the balanced diet when the baby is breastfeeding. So after, now that is why I've said after maybe by the year the boy was turning a year, still now there was not so much improvement when you look at the other children. And now automatically at your mind, now you start getting, I think that is the time you start exactly to become a concern. Kwani, what is this? Kwani, what is the issue with a baby?
What are we not doing
exactly,
right?
Exactly. All those kind of funny things came up. So many advices. Yes, others will tell us, wazazi wako wabariki vizuri wakati mlikuwa mnaoana. There are so many funny things, and I believe them. Maybe somebody else who have not, because I believe the program doesn't belong to everybody.
Yeah, true.
They belong to somebody who is suffering.
Yes.
So, but I know to them what I'm saying, it means a lot. That they have, many have been told, go and seek blessings to your parents. Go and find out what is happening with wherever where you are. Maybe there is an issue on the side of the man or on the side of the woman, the mother. You hear so many stories. When you try to look at them, there is nothing you are getting from there.
Nothing is adding up.
Exactly, there is nothing that is adding up. So you only end up to be more confused than before. And the issue is still there. You get it. Others, they try to do them, to go to the parents, to blah, 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 blah. So, by the end of the day, they get so frustrated and very disappointed because they didn't get the answers. The only they fight. Sometimes the parents will be concerned. Why do we let our children suffer? And we let the innocent child suffer. We are not the case. So this is not, has nothing to do with us. You get it? So you find so many funny things. Go mariza mariza dawa yako, all those things. And you are still just a young marriage. You are still also struggling yourselves. Kujuana.
You're still learning each other.
Yes,
anyway.
Exactly. So, do you think it's easy? It's not easy. Even balancing all those things sometimes become very hard.
It must have been a hard time.
Exactly. So, through that and what we faced, and now here when you come to the condition itself, now it is still also tormenting you when you look at the other children. The children, how they are growing up, how their mothers are, all that. So, in that duration of time, we now try to find out, is there any other issue? What is happening? And even seeking, spiritually seeking, where you dearly seek, even the men of God, and also yourself, seeking God because of the issue. But as much we didn't get a very good answer or any condition changing, we only realized that one of our son's leg was shorter than the other, and also it was bedding.
At what age?
That was now at the age of 1 year and some several months allowed there.
That is when you realized one leg is shorter.
Yes, one of the legs were very short, and then it was bedding from, I think from here, from here, actually, it was it had started bedding. You know how the leg can bed and start bedding on the other side?
Yes.
We realized that is how he could sit instead of the leg to be straight, the legs. Now the baby can sit even if it's supported. The neck can stand firm as much, not for a long time. But now when he is sitting, you realize that it is only one leg can be straight. The other one, when you go there, inakuja in a bed in a face the other one. So
this is now the time
and actually that was
another challenge.
Exactly. And that one we didn't see it. It's only my mother. My mother saw it when we had visited her, and the baby was just sitting at the seat. So my mother observed and asked us. She just called me and called the mother, and she asked, "Have you ever noticed anything, any issue?" Even at that time, we couldn't see.
Oh no.
We couldn't see. And now, until she did practically, how always you always keep your legs like this, so they will face that way. But when now this one moja imekaa hivi, so literally there is an issue, and it's a bit shorter. So what do we do?
At this point, the doctors have not recommended you to have maybe medication for the child instead of the mother only.
Even they have now now they were only talking. They couldn't. They had not mentioned anything like that. Yes.
You went to the same doctor throughout?
Yes, we went through the same. Now it's the same clinic. Since the mother, and if the child has an issue, that is the time you are advised, go and see a certain doctor, blah blah, on this. So there was no any conversation about that before. In quotes also, maybe as parents, we didn't get into it deeper, but I think any conversation comes from when the mother goes to the clinic. That is the time you are told your child has a certain condition.
They should be able to detect.
Exactly, and it is good you see this specialist.
And that is why these antenatal clinics are important.
Yes.
Because they monitor the progress of a child, their growth and everything.
Exactly.
So once they detect there is a problem, they should be able to monitor it and address it at the same time.
Exactly.
So at this point, they just told the mother to continue taking the supplement.
Yes, exactly.
Nothing for the baby.
There was nothing.
Oh,
actually, even they never, they're amazing. They never saw even whatever now we saw with our mother, that one of the legs is shorter. There is nothing they had seen it.
It happens. I have ever seen a friend of mine whose child also had issues with calcium, and she had not noticed. So it's normal. She was a new mother. You don't know how to handle a baby even at that time. So there are so many challenges. But at the same time, I have seen children who are young being given medication. So I'm just wondering, these doctors, what was their problem? They would have addressed this issue also. Maybe by giving the child medication.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're normally given. I have seen even young children being given medication. Yeah. However.
Yes. So that is how it happened. And now the baby cannot. Now there are two challenges already.
Yes.
Have come in. Here calcium, the bones, and now we have realized one the legs is shorter, and now it's bedding. What do we do? So getting back now to the hospital and seeking advices. And as normal, one of the things that clicks in your mind, now there is nothing to be done. It's just need the intervention, spiritual intervention, or if there is anything else that can be done. And we looked for it, actually. Now this one we really worked on it, and we started going to hospital, where now we identified a doctor, and he was able to look at our son, and he just said that we can do some operation, and there were things that they were really saying they can really work on them. And the leg, because the bones were still, and he said they were still growing, there is a way now the bones can be worked on, and the baby would be okay. And we said, oh wow, that's okay. But in between, we met with another couple, a friend of ours, who's also the baby were in the same, they were almost the same age with my son. But their issues was the legs of their sons zilikuwa zimeangaliana kabisa hivi. So and that is where we bonded, we became friends with them, because the issue was still calcium, and now the doctors were able to make the legs, started helping to straighten the legs in a way that the one day the boy will walk very well. And actually, I can say they went a process of a whole year where the legs were shaped.
Trying to manage this
exactly
issue.
The legs were shaped very well and in a proper way. And today that boy is is the same age with my son, and he's okay. But our case become a bit sensitive. One, it needed a lot of finances, and also it was not to be operated at that particular time. There was a specific age that our son lazima agefikisha ili waweze kufanya operation.
Okay.
Exactly. So by that time, I think finances zikakuwa issue. And I think also there was I always also say, when I look at the issue, our case was not really so much physical or medical. It was so spiritual, and also there was a way that God was also wanted to. There was communications that God was also communicating with us as a family. So the time that our son was to be operated, there was no money. He's growing up weak. So, and because of the issue, I think he couldn't, also the issue of the leg that was shorter, and also the calcium itself, it's still low as much, inaenda increase kidogo. So what happened? So there was no much change. So the time that the boy was to walk, he couldn't walk.
And as he continues to grow, the calcium levels needed also become higher.
Yes, exactly.
Because he's growing also.
Exactly.
Now, at this time when they're saying the boy needed to be operated on, they were recommending what age?
I think at an age of around 3 years.
3 years.
3 years around there.
3 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that was the time the boy was to be operated. But when that time came, there was no money. Finances was issue, and also the way you just feel like, then what will happen? Are they trying? It is that one we will try. Sio ile 100% that this thing will be, and especially when one leg was born shorter than the other. I think they can manage other things, but there are things they cannot be able to give you 100% that this could be okay. Exactly. They cannot be able to equalize the legs. So as much they will try to straighten wherever the leg was bending, that one doesn't assure you that they will come to the same levels. So there is that mind. Do we go for it? Do we not? All those. We are seeking God. Now we started opening up to some of our friends. And some of our friends just spiritually, yes.
You started opening up.
Yes.
So it means for all this time you kept it to yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Because of the fears of what will people say.
Yes, exactly. And because in the beginning, you see now, there was a condition. The first condition was calcium, which I think it was like normal to many of the children.
It is very, it's
Exactly,
common.
it's
a common
common.
thing, yeah.
So, and that one, it was like the way you meet with friends. Oh, how is the baby going? Blah blah blah, and you just open up. It's only calcium. Hiyo itaisha. All those kind of the things. So the next time, oh, how is the baby? I know now. Anakaa chini. So issues zinaanza wapi?
I know.
Anakaa chini. We unajua akaagi.
Yes. And when every time they meet, they want to know, now he's walking, he's standing, he's talking, and back in your mind, you're also struggling with it.
Exactly. So they give answers before you give your answers. So what do? You just hide your answer at your heart. And actually, up to date, there are things I give answers for myself. That yesterday somebody said, oh, I know the boy is in university.
Wow.
Yesterday, just yesterday.
Just yesterday.
What would I tell him?
He's doing fine.
Yeah.
He's doing fine. True.
So in life, and that is what life gives you.
It's true.
And you have to adjust yourself with life.
You have to.
Because there are those expectations of people. They are really, and there are those things that they think automatically. They are there. You get it. And they are good. They are your friends.
Yeah, they are.
And you can't hate them because, for example, like now the one who we were talking with her yesterday, she was just excited and telling me, oh, I know your child now is in university. Sasa anajibu tu hivyo according to the age and according to all those things. So, and I just, he's there, he's good, he's doing fine. But one day si watamit na yeye, so ataona. So there are things you say, life itajireta yenyewe. So I don't need to struggle because by the time you start saying no, blah blah blah, so another story starts there. Yes. And you feel you don't need to, you are not ready for all those stories. But this is what I was saying, that now I was just talking about now. Others are, I know he's walking, I know he is sitting down, all that. So we realize now we don't know how to face it. But to myself, my friends would ask, and now, because we are so very open with some of my friends, I will tell them, I started telling them, we realize, blah, 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 this is what. That was not an issue to them. What I'm thinking it's an issue, oh my God, to my friends, it was not an issue. Oh my God. And to a point they are telling me, Kahura, that is not your son, that is not your baby, that is God's baby. And if the doctor are saying this, they don't try it. As much the baby is okay and all the rest of the things. If there is something that you could have changed, go and do it. But if they are not 100% about that, right, leave it.
Leave it. Wow. At this point now,
exactly.
How old is the boy? Has the surgery happened? Or?
No, and actually it never happened. Yes, it never happened. It never happened. And it never happened. So, and if it could have happened, there was no finances, the money that was needed. I didn't have it at that particular time. So, as much and I saw, I don't know whether my friends also, they knew my area, my status of finances. When the birds of the same feathers flow together. So when I have an issue, they know there is nowhere else I can, they are them. So you have to encourage yourself. So you can encourage yourself in situation where you could have gotten another answer, but I didn't get an answer. The only thing they encouraged me, leave it to God. He's not the first one. Kuwa na mguu mfupi, blah blah blah, and as much there is no 100% atakuwa sawa. Let's go, just relax. And I think I started relaxing kiasi.
All this time you're singing for God.
Yes.
Still worshiping God.
Yes. And I think that's another, that is in that direction.
You're still worshiping God amidst all these challenges.
Yes.
With your
child.
Yes,
exactly.
You're still worshiping God.
Yes, I'm still singing.
What is your conversation with God during this time? Because sometimes when we give our stories and our testimonies, people may think that we have just jumped and landed.
Yes.
But in between that, you went through a lot.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us about you being a worshiper, still worshiping God, and this is a challenge that you're trying to address, and up to now, nothing has happened.
Fine. It was a challenge. And I think that is why I started sharing, because I realized it's also affecting my ministry in music. Particularly in music, I realized there are things I'm really withdrawing.
Okay.
And withdraw comes when I'm going looking at my son. Sasa namwangalia akiwa mkubwa, naona how he will be suffering, or yani those things. And you know, at that age still, 3 years, that is the time mtoto mpaka anaongea, mpaka anafanya. I think it was a confusing season where now the baby, this is the firstborn. You are just bringing him up, and you have never brought up any other child up. So there are things zinajulikana, mtu saa ile mtu amekuja, ama saa ile a friend amekuja na mtoto wao. Unakuta yule anasema tata, anajaribu kufanya hizo, wenu hata ana story hizo. So you realize your home is very quiet. But with the time unafikiria itatokea, ama that is normal. So at this age, why I'm becoming confused, because now we have realized wengine wameanza kuita wazazi wao mami, auntie, bra 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 bra. Huyu hakuna, but our son loved listening to music, watching. He will get happy and excited. Communication yake haikuwa, hata ya kulia haikuwa sana. So we only, because we are there observing him, anytime he needs anything, we will be able to give it to him. Our boy, ile kutapa, okuruma.
Crawling.
Yes, crawling. He didn't crawl. He didn't.
No.
So at that particular time, now we have realized this is not just the case. There are so many things that our son is going through. He can speak, he cannot scroll, he cannot, there are so many things. So we are at that point. So I started getting affected kiasi. My wife is one of the women that are a bit strong in things and take things easily. But myself, and that's nature. Sometimes